22 right here. It's the Henery lever action 22. This is not off actual range shooting. Ammo I'm shooting. It's the Olympus 22 long rifle. It's hollow points right here pop out, and there's a small line right there. I don't know if you can see it, but the zero lines up here once you get that. Hit. It does take a while. It holds about 14 to 15 shots, depending on how this goes in. Sometimes it's a little fun. Hi YouTube, this is the Marines Man. What I'm doing today is I'm doing a review on the Henery lever action 22 rifle. See 22 caliber right there. You got your Henery on the bottom. This is the first 22 I bought. I found it very, very reliable, and I'm basically doing a review on it. So these are another specs. I bought it for $200 at about 5 years ago. I'm going to be giving you the current specs on it, which hold the same for now except for the price. The price changed and went up to $325. So I mean, I think most weapons are going up, rifles and whatnot are going up in price, and the 22 obviously has too, which is unfortunate, but that's how it is. So the model number of this is the number H001. Its caliber is 22. It's a lever action, as you can see. Like the I got it because I like the cowboy style. I figured it's kind of neat. Capacity for the magazine. The magazine is a tubular magazine, which means you undo this at the front, slide it forward, it comes out, and then you slip your rounds in through here or through the top, either one, by removing this completely. It is purely up to the user of how they wish to load it. Personally, I like the Winchester style of going in through the rear, but once again, this is a Henery, that's a Winchester. There's a very difference in loading. The Henery has traditionally always had the tubular magazine design ever since Civil War time period in the .44 caliber. But back to this capacity. 15 rounds of 22 long rifle. I found that, well, I'll get to that a little later. Then this is 22 rounds of 22L. I do not know what 22L is. I'm assuming it's a little shorter than the 22 long rifle because it holds 17 rounds. Then it holds 22 rounds of, 21 rounds of 22 short. 22 short is the is like if you cut a 22 round, cut it in half. That's about the length. This will use it, so I think that's very versatile as far as rounds are concerned. Then it is blued finish. The barrel is blued, and this is blued. I do not know what this is, but I'm pretty sure it's not blued. Along with the hammer is also blued. Then the weight of this gun is 5.25 pounds. I think that's pretty light. I mean, there are lighter 22s, but bear in mind this is wood stock, all metal. There's no composite or anything like that. That's without the scope, by the way. Then the length is 36.5 inches. Not too bad. I think it's relatively short for a, not short, but it's a good length for 22. Then the barrel length is 18 1/4 inches. So that would be from starting here, going to the front is 18 1/4. I think it's a good length for 22. Then sight adjustment. The sights, the rear one is adjustable and only in up and down, or windage in elevation. It does not compensate for windage at all, neither does the front sight, something to bear in mind. The front sight, when I originally got it, was hooded. The hood slipped off at some point when I was shooting. I don't know when. I'm pretty sure it was when I did the video with 22 versus the bricks at 150 yards. I think it slipped off somewhere in that field, and there's no way I was going to be able to find it. I did look, couldn't find it. Then, but I don't think it's too big of a loss. In all honesty, if anything, it actually helps being able to see the front sight now. Sometimes when it's hooded, I found that you can't get a very good sight picture because the upper part, longer ranges, is blocking some of the target. Then the stock is a very nicely made American walnut. It's a style which they call the straight grip, which means there's no pistol grip in here whatsoever. It needs to be that way so the lever action can function. And I just said the price now is $325. Next up, these are personal things that I noticed about it that were not in the specs, but for when you're loading the 22 long rifle through this little slot right here, it's kind of in the shape of a 22. As you load it in there, you can only fit 14 rounds up until the back. What I did is I basically, like the 14th round will come up about halfway, preventing you from putting the next one in. Maybe they made this too far back. I don't know what the deal is, but I just took out the two magazines and put in an extra round, and you can carry 15 and it'll close just fine without any problems. I found that also when you're shooting it, it is difficult to do when you have this open. It's very difficult to slip a single round inside of there. The reason for this is when you're firing, there's a very small hole in there that you have to slide it into, and if you're not just right, it'll start going back and forth and jam at this point right here. So something to look out for. There is a half cock options, is totally closed. Half cock, I can't pull that trigger at all. Full cock, bang. So it does have a safety option on there, which is nice. Yeah, bluing. Normally, as far as for looks, which is what this rifle is for, bluing looks awesome. I don't think you could have it any other way. But when it comes to durability, I don't like bluing because it rusts. If it's not oiled frequently, it will start to rust on you. If it's not left out in the rain, but brought through rainy conditions, you got to be really careful about that. Alright, so I'm going to go into durability right now. I've never had really too many issues with loading at all. The only issue that I've had, once again, is saying the single round, but that's shooter error. It's not, the gun was not meant to be like that, so I'm not going to put that as a mark against it at all. Once again, bluing, I already covered that. The front sight hood, I found that kind of disappointing when it came sliding off on me. I mean, it's good that it comes off. I mean, some shooters may not like it, but I think it came off too easily. I think there should be some kind of screw or something that keeps it on there, just like to clamp it in better. And then there's a little tiny nub right here on the lever action that I found. This is more for comfort, not really durability. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. And in warm weather, it's fine, but in cold weather, what it does is as you're putting your hand in here, it rubs against your finger and it makes it really, really uncomfortable to shoot. I mean, it'll start feeling like it's going raw after a while. It's just because of the cold weather effect on it, though. Your skin becomes a little more brittle, I suppose. Accuracy. I can't say a whole lot about accuracy simply because I've never shot your match grade 22 through this on a bench rest at 100 yards, 50 yards, any range. I've just never done it. I've always shot the 22 bulk pack. But I can say this. I've shot it at 25 yards, and I've been able to, it is capable, this is what the hollow point bulk pack you can get at Walmart. It'll put every round on top of each other. It is, I think it's very accurate. Then at 15 rounds, I got a little bored and decided to have some fun one day, and I did this. This is a Mosin Nagant shell, and it put a hole right through it. 25 yards, or 15 yards. This was without a bench rest. I was just kind of aiming at it, and boom. I started lining up a whole bunch of these and shooting at them. This is the only one I was able to find. I was kicking them down into a gully quite far. And if that's not good enough, I boosted it up a little bit. This is a 22. Hit it just like that. So you can see the size difference. Hit this too, same distance. So, I mean, I think this thing is very accurate. Now, I was using a scope with it. I don't know if you could pull it off with iron sights simply because of the wide front sight. Next up, I would definitely say this is a tack driver. I don't think there's any reason why you'd not be able to hit what you're aiming at with this, unless it has simply to do with wind, and that's about it. If you put a scope on it, as long as once you get your adjustments down, you should be good to go. I think it's very, very accurate. Next up, the philosophy of use. What would you, as a shooter, be wanting to use this for? First off, I think it's just cool. You get a 22 that looks like a cowboy gun, and you can shoot it for half the price. I mean, even less than that. It's a 22 rifle, but I mean, the thing looks awesome. As a sporting gun, I think it could definitely fit in that category just for simply target shooting, kind of having fun. It's not meant to be a dead-on, almost like a 22 version of a sniper rifle, if you will. It's meant to just kind of be fun, have some fun with it. I mean, it's lever action. It's an awesome feeling to be able to go through that. It could definitely be used as a hunting rifle without any problems whatsoever. Just bear in mind it is lever action, slightly slower rate of fire, but you still get off a pretty good rate, as I'll show in a as I showed in the video. The 22 versus bricks at 150 yards. It was at one point I just did a little bit of rapid fire. I think it was 4 or 5 shots, but I mean you can get off some pretty quick shots. Then it definitely be used for target shooting, as I said, and I think it's very, very, very versatile. What I mean by that is because it is short enough, you can take off this rear stock without it affecting any of the internals. So if you need to put it in something like, I don't know, a real small case or something, this comes off, and that cuts off a good, let's see, it comes off about there. It's cutting off about a foot of length right through here. So it'd be from about here back, because this that's all coming off, and that'd be about a foot. So I mean, you could cut it down. Then it's very lightweight for the materials it's made out of, which are all metal and wood. I think it's pretty good weight, and the accuracy is awesome. I think you could put this gun in a roll for just about anything without any kind of failures. Let's see where we're going next with this. Next, the disassembly of this is very simple. I'm going to be, I haven't cleaned this yet from the last time I shot it, which is about 2 days ago. I will put some footage of that in the opening of this. But basically for cleaning, which I'll go over later, it is simply these 2 rear screws, and this back screw here, and 2 rear screws is here. There's 2 lock washers under there. Once that's off, first thing you do is remove the stock, and then this whole piece right here comes up and off, and then all you're left with is right here. I consider this the upper receiver. This is the lower. Could be either way. I don't really care. But and then all you're left with is the lever action rear, and then your barrel assembly is all there. But I think it's very easy to clean. No big deal. The only issue is your bolt may have a little bit difficulty getting it back in, which I will show you in the cleaning video. Then let's see. Overall, I think it's a good rifle for the money, in all honesty. At the time it was $200. I think it was a steal, compared to how expensive it's gotten. It's gone up $125. Um, it just looks awesome. It's an iconic rifle. It's just what the American West. Just when you use it, you feel like you're a cowboy again. You're just kind of having fun with it. Then I paid $200 then. It's now $325. If I could buy it again now, would I do it? My philosophy of use has kind of changed a bit. But if I still wanted, or not still wanted, but like now I'd probably go for 1022 simply because it's more versatile. You can put a lot more gadgets on it and stuff. But for this gun, if I still wanted the cowboy look and stuff, oh yeah, I'd definitely pay for it. Even now, I don't think I'd give it or trade this in. It's an awesome gun, and I think I want to keep it. But so yeah, definitely a good gun for the money, and that's about it. So thanks for watching. This has been a review on the Henery 22 lever action rifle. So, I almost forgot the scope I have on here is the one that you've seen a couple times now. It is the Tasco 6x42mm fixed power. Little thing that I did, this scope or rail mount here, I forgot to mention that. As I said, there is a rail right here to making that pretty easy to put on any kind of optics you want. It's a Weaver rail, not the Picatinny, so it's a lot thinner. But it doesn't have any built-in MOA. I found that annoying for this particular scope anyway because it has a very, it's very annoying as far as adjustments go. Yeah, it's like to get it zeroed at maybe 25 yards, the adjustment has to be way up. So to fix that, I use actually just very simple. I use toothpicks up in the back. You can see it right there. See if I can get it in there, but they're right there. And broke it into little pieces. I mean, you can use anything, a little wood wedge, I don't care. But they worked for me, so I was able to get nothing in the front, so it has a very slight downward angle. And it's not moving anywhere, so I like that. It's nice and solid, but I still get that little bit of added MOA. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's pretty awesome. And so yeah, that's the review. As I said, I think I'm going to do a separate video for the cleaning, and that's about it. So, this is the Marines Man signing off.